Hi guys, welcome to today's video. As you know, it is Thursday, and on Thursdays we cover My Hero Academia. In My Hero Academia, chapter 341 leaks came out, and I took a brief glimpse at them, and they are absolutely fire, and it touches on a bunch of characters we all know and love, but not on the side of our good guys. So before we jump right in, please drop a subscription if you haven't already, as it means the world to me and lets me know you want to see more of this style of content. I'm on a pretty consistent upload schedule nowadays with One Piece on Monday and Friday, and I'm going to do My Hero Academia on Thursdays and Sundays, or Thursdays and Saturdays. I haven't exactly figured the last part out, but as always, on Thursdays you can always expect a chapter from me. So without further ado, let's hop right into chapter 341, and chapter 341 begins with Toga in her house, which is destroyed and full of graffiti calling her a demon. She goes through the rooms and remembers her childhood, when her parents told her to repress the desire for blood and act normal, because no one would accept this side of her. Arriving at her room, she remembers a dream she had every single night, where a red sparrow danced on her belly and entered her navel, dyeing Toga herself red and continuing to dance inside of her. Kind of an ominous dream each night. I guess at first glance it seems a little bit childish to an extent, but I think once it entered her navel and dyed Toga herself red and continued to dance inside of her, it seems a little bit ominous. However, I can't help but feel for Toga in this moment, with everybody calling her a demon. As we know, in her childhood, she desired to be normal. She desired to be like everyone else, but she couldn't repress the side of her which was her true self. But what's even more tragic, despite Toga obviously having these internal feelings, her parents also re-emphasized this point and told her to be normal. And coming from a parent, this is one of the worst things a child can hear. After reiterating that she had left her old life behind, Toga leaves the house and runs into Dabi, who is impressed that a crazy person like her has a sentimental heart, and he asks her if she has made up her mind about ending this world, and Toga confirms, saying that she was convinced long ago. Dabi says that tomorrow will inevitably come no matter if they laugh or cry, so the best thing to do is to laugh. People live to laugh. As he says this, he burns down Toga's old house. She comments that he is a kind person for going after her, but he quickly says he only did this to make Endeavor's life harder in the near future, and the main reason is the following. Dabi took the blood of Twice's main body right after his death and gave it to Toga, knowing that she could use his quirk because it is the blood of someone she loved. They will continue the tragic parade of Jin Bugiwara. What's interesting here is that Dabi, despite working with Toga for so long, had no idea she possessed this sentimental side. And we see the stance that Dabi and Toga have. They want to end this world, and they've set their minds to it. We're really reaching the end game of the story, and here we have our villains fully solidified. Although I do believe that Toga will eventually be saved by Ochako. I actually made a video on that I will link in the description, but I think that will be paramount to her character development, because I don't think Toga's fully on the side of evil. She had a non-ideal upbringing and didn't have anyone to nurture her, and instead was nurtured by evil. Despite Twice being out of the story, we now know that Twice will still have a role within the story, as Toga can use his blood. His quirk is absolutely strong and is going to serve the League of Villains in a very paramount way. The scene then cuts to the cave with Shigaraki screaming and Spinner getting scared, and as he looks in that direction, he sees a mass of flesh sticking out of Tomura's body. All for One tells him not to worry because this is his regeneration process working as it should. The next person to speak is Skeptic, telling Spinner that many people with mutation quirks already had problems with the heroes even before the collapse of society. As we know, those people who have mutation quirks are already discriminated against in society, which parallels our own world. And now the remnants of the Liberation Army began to investigate these mutant and criminals, and now they revere Spinner. He is no longer a simple Stain cosplayer. He has now become the star that can guide these people towards a new light. He is reluctant to take this position, but Skeptic hands him a black device and says that he is the one who will pull the trigger in Redestro's place. All for One says that a simple step of his will grant courage to many, and Shigaraki murders Let's Destroy, which makes Spinner decide that he will no longer think of his own will and will act only for the good of the leader. On the final page, we see several mutant villains gathered together, including the slime one from the first chapter, and Spinner holding the device. All for One says that anyone can become a hero to someone else. I had anticipated that Spinner would be an absolute asset to the League of Villains because he's someone they can actually identify with. And now, as a result, now society is continually swayed once more towards the side of the League of Villains. Spinner has compelled those with mutant quirks to now take the side of the League of Villains, and now as a result, Spinner is an icon for the League of Villains. The status of hero and villain is once again put against each other, and All for One specifically says anyone can become a hero to someone else. Even in the state of villains, even in the state when they're doing heinous things, evil actions, those who are oppressed can view their actions as heroic. I really do hope by the end of the story, those with mutant quirks are no longer discriminated against, as I do hope for a world within My Hero Academia where all those, despite whatever quirk they have, despite whatever appearance they have, they can all live together and live in a just society. So this chapter was further exposition towards the villains' side for the final days of war. As you know, the heroes are preparing, but as well are the villains, and we are getting closer and closer to the war actually beginning. This chapter really sets up the figureheads from the League of Villains that are going to be absolutely important. Obviously, we have All For One, Shigaraki, and Dabi, but as well we have Himiko, Toga, and Spinner. And those five seem to be the big figureheads of the League of Villains currently, but I'm sure there are other villains lurking in the corner. So guys, this chapter wasn't super long, but I absolutely loved seeing the League of Villains, and I hope y'all did too. So guys, if you want to see more My Hero Academia related content, please let me know in the comment section below and subscribe if you haven't already. Despite whatever is going on in my life at any various point, I always find content creation and discussing these stories that you and I both love to be an outlet for me, an escape, and something I am absolutely passionate to do, and I would do even if I had 0 viewers. So I thank you genuinely from the bottom of my heart for helping me develop this community and helping me live and actualize this dream that I've long sought for. I hope you're all having a beautiful day, and as always, be greedier, and I will catch you all next time.